you know, and you think, yeah, great, look, I have a great backdrop and everything, and I'm going to make a live video, and now it's extremely windy. So let me find a non-windy place for a second. And I have to start by saying the title is obviously I'm lazy, because my entire life I've always thought, my God, there's got to be an easier way to do this, right? I watched my parents while I was growing up. They worked for themselves. But when I say worked for themselves, they were up at 4 a.m-ish every day washing taxi cabs that they owned and ran, and had quite a lot of staff at one stage. And anyway, walking backwards now. I hope I don't fall over. No, that's even worse as far as breeze is concerned. And oh my goodness, wind chill factor. But anyway, look at this backdrop that I have. So that's what I'm here for, the backdrop. Actually, the reason I am even bothering to make this piece of content is because I find the whole making pieces of content and whatever actually a real creative process, and I love it, because I do think and know within every cell of my body that for me to be able to do stuff, it has to be pretty, and I'm going to sniffle as well. For me to be doing things and running business or whatever, I get to choose to focus on the parts that are literally the easiest and exaggerate them, and I get other people to help me do the other things. Because the reason I'm making this, I caught up with a really good old friend of mine today, and she's kind of launching an online thing and going into that space. And so we were talking about it, and she was asking lots of questions. It made me realize, it actually made me realize the contrast of how much I've learnt the last couple of years of just having, really promoting and having an online business a lot for 2 years. It was actually a business that I ran for 10 years anyway, and that's like the coaching of personal trainers. And the reason I reckon, because I like, actually, this is a ramble, sorry if you're one of my friends and you're like, get to the point, there's no point today, but this is going to be very insightful. Sorry for the sniffing. This is actually going to be, hey, thanks Vanessa, yeah, it is a great view. It's fucking cold though today, what to say? I don't know what's happened, but Victoria's just all of a sudden gone to cold weather. Funny that. See, I lose track really easy. One of my friends is always like, can you just stay on track on your videos? Like, no, I can't. Today is going to be a little bit of a ramble, but it's going to be incredibly helpful for you if you run your own business, and if you run your own business in particular online. Now, I don't have a business where I do a lot of moving of small parts, as in I don't have any product sales, or not anymore, and I definitely don't move product online. So it's not one of those e-commerce businesses in any way, shape or form, unless you count selling things on Facebook Marketplace or eBay and that kind of stuff. And I don't call that a business. I'll just give you the background so you know what I'm talking about, but I will bring into it the philosophy of, I have always looked for the easier way to do things. Even from, when I was younger, watching my parents get up so early to start work, I would think to myself, gosh, okay, all right, they might earn great money, but I'm never doing that. That's exactly what I remember thinking, looking at them going, I am never doing that. I'm never going to work that hard. That ain't happening. And it's funny. Oh, now I have poor wireless connection. Come on, Torquay, you're not really doing it for me today. So again, I might have to move. Anyway, if it cuts out, it cuts out. I'll make another video when I get home on the Wi-Fi. No, I won't, because I have so many client calls at the moment that won't happen. So that's one of the other things I want to talk about. I'm actually super excited to make a piece of content today, because I haven't made a piece from scratch originally like this for, it feels like forever, but it's probably only about a week. And I want to exaggerate for you that no matter what business you're in, to make it easier, you really do need to focus on, I'm shivering, so the phone is actually shaking, but you really do need to focus on the parts of the business that you find the easiest, and the parts that you love the most. And in my case, it's funny, some of the girls that I coach, so I coach them in an online group, and I have a 90-day course where these trainers run through the 90-day course, right? And they talk to me every week on the phone, and we also message a lot. So I answer questions, and they've got a lot of resources and stuff. And so just to give you a background, And some of them on the call a couple of weeks ago, one said, I get distracted really easy, and someone that walked past just looked like a friend of mine, but it's not because she doesn't live anywhere near here. Anyway, see how my mind works? It's okay to have your mind work like this. I, for so many years, was told by male mentors, just focus on the one thing. You stop following the shiny object, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I've actually always had a million projects going on, and that's fine. Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about now. That's the problem with coffee, and that is actually the problem with not staying on point. There is a point. Bloody sniffles. Staying on the genius part of you being good at stuff. That's right. One of my girls was saying, gosh, how do you cope with these long phone calls and having us with all these problems and blah, 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 whatever. Because a lot of it is about mindset stuff, really, because if people have, in my business, because I'm business to business, they call that, because there's business to consumer as a business structure, and there's business to business. So my business is helping other businesses within a certain niche, for example. And I guess some people see it as like coaching calls, for one, are a lot of volume for most people to handle. But I find that interesting because even one of my old friends, I used to go to her house and train her. I hope you're watching this, Kate. I ramble, enjoy others' rambles. Thanks, Vanessa. Kate used to say that Kate's got like very successful online business. She doesn't do one-on-one consultations. There's no talking. And she said, oh my God, how can you handle that kind of volume? I couldn't handle having so many one-on-one appointments and calls and stuff in my diary. That'd drive me mental. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. I don't know. It's just my personality type. But when I look at what I used to do for the first good, at least 18 years of my career, it's actually been, up to 150 sessions a week of volume of, group sessions running through, and then a lot of traffic, a lot of face-to-face personal training traffic. And when you get used to that and you get energy from that, and mind you, I wouldn't be able to talk to my partner ever because, you kind of, if you're a coach, you know what I'm talking about, you're kind of lost for words at the end of the day. Anyway, when I'm used to that volume, really, if I'm talking to people on the phone for a couple of hours during the day, man, that's like the easiest thing in the world to do. Is it not? Like that doesn't require me to drink a bottle of wine. Like some of them were saying, my God, don't you need to drink a bottle of wine? I think I made that comment. You cracked me up. I think I'm at the car. Actually, Marg, it wasn't you. It was Amanda. Yeah, you were both saying something about that. Funny. I did used to get into a really bad habit. So I've noticed a lot of self-parenting has to come in. I've had to recalibrate myself to a different routine, and I have to put myself in bed early. I have to, either have a nap or meditate and all that kind of stuff. Like, you really do have to look after yourself first and foremost when you run a business, full stop. I don't think that that's necessarily an online business, but I think people push their health too far down the chain of things when yourself as a project has to absolutely be a project. Otherwise, there's pretty much no point having a business, especially not when you're in the service industry. If you're moving product, might be a little bit different, but I do think that the energy that you put out there plays a massive role. But anyway, I'm definitely getting off subject now. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, the constitution that different people have that they bring to the online space, and that it's very important for you as a person that runs a business, if you're watching this and you run a business, to get in sync with whatever your genius is and really hone in on that part purely so it's easy for you. It's not going to be easy. It's just not easy. Purely so it's simpler for you and you can get more enjoyment out of it, because when you get, that good feeling oxytocin release from your own business, it doesn't really feel like work. So it's funny, I was saying something to my partner earlier today and he said, oh, you poor thing, have you got to work like 17 hours a week now instead of 15? And I think I work 17 hours a day. And I said, well, who's the smart one? He said, yeah, shut up. Because he literally does work an enormous amount of hours, don't you, babe, if you're watching this? Yes. I think the comments are actually a bit delayed on Facebook Lives, aren't they? Anyway, that is today's rambles, because it made me realise, just talking to my friend Ursula earlier about how much I have learnt in relation to the online space and how much carryover there really is between having a physical business and having face-to-face transactions and being able to coach people and being able to look after your own health and being able to look after other people and their health and their business and all that stuff. There's a lot of carryover, but you do always have to look after yourself first if you're running a business, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And it is a constant balance. And I don't think there is, have a buddy ramble, I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all balance of this is actually how you do it, blah, blah, blah. Release your course. Oh, God, I'm driving myself crazy with these sniffles. Gross. Talk about a real-life video. Anyway, I better head back to the car because I've got to have another chat soon. So hopefully that makes some sense or puts your mind at ease or whatever, because it's not that you're lazy, because I should have a Facebook group called the Lazy Club, because I'm internally motivated to work for myself, and I'm being distracted by the fact that there's people watching me have a conversation with myself on the phone at the moment. Yep, that's right, guys, I'm talking to myself. I should run a club for lazy people's business. Nah, in all seriousness, like, personal trainers are amazing. I've actually got the most amazing demographic of people to work with, because you think about it, personal trainers are this should make you all jealous. All you people run an online business that coach anyone else, this is why personal trainers are amazing. Fitness people are internally motivated, and they know how to exercise by themselves, right? So we're already really motivated people. Then you capture the ones of those that also run a business for themselves. You've got, like, in my opinion, the top 1 or 2%, fuck, it's windy now, pardon my French. Make sure your kids don't watch any of my videos, unless you want them saying the F-bomb at school. How rude. Oh, now this is a little bit embarrassing because now I'm walking onto the main street. So I'm really lucky in that I get to really work with the top, 1 or 2% of the population as far as internally motivated people. They really are. And actually, kudos to anyone that actually takes the time to bother to work for themselves, because you're very different. You're probably not going to be the same as your friends. You're definitely not going to be the same as your friends. You're not going to be the same as your family. And oh my God, do I need to make another video about the people in your close circle commenting about the things that you do. That's going to be next piece of content. Love making these bits of content. Work smarter, not harder. Whatever analogy you'd like to do, but it's funny how the people who think that you've got to work like super hard, which is the family that I grew up in, and that's okay. That's how my parents were. You've got to like work hard. Yeah, I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock for like 50 years of my life though, and drag myself into the ground so that I end up with an alcohol addiction, for example, or anything else. So it's just about keeping everything in kind of check, isn't it? Literally checking in with yourself. That is something that I do, and I get my girls to do as well. Like, there's a lot of accountability forms and stuff that they supposed to fill out. In other words, what are they doing as far as their own health, their own self-care, their relationships, and then they track their leads and sales and that stuff too. But it's always important when you're doing things as well, when you're running your own business, to make sure your head doesn't fall off and you don't lose your relationship in the meantime, which is all possible of doing. And I'm saying that from past experiences. Actually, I can go over here now because all the cafes have closed, which is good. Not that I care what people think, but I guess I do. We all do. All right, now I have to cross the road, so I really am going to have to end the Facebook Live, because that would be tragic to watch somebody crossing the road and then they get hit by a car. Anyway, getting a bit crazy now. All right, I'm going to go eat my lunch. Oh my God, yes, the comments, and they think they know. Yes, they do, and that's okay, because everyone's got an opinion, because they're like, remember, that expression? And that's okay. They just want to keep you safe and all the rest of it. I'm going to run across the road. So yeah, family want to keep you safe, don't they? Want to keep you safe. They want to keep you the same. So you're just like, yep, cool. Thank you for your opinion. And then you really just block your ears, really. Oh. Anyway, content for another time. All right, kids, I will talk to you later. Let me know if you've got any questions. Tag me and I'll come back to the post and answer them. See ya.